Well, welcome everyone. Everyone's hopping in still, but I wanted to share this amazing miracle. I just kept my dollar bill just in my window and I kept looking at it and going, "Thank you for all the money that I've been given throughout my life." And I just say, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And I just flood my body. I had such a wild experience. But Stacia, I wanted to see if you wanted to share your little miracle with us.
I think it was just funny that right after we got off the call, I had did what I've never heard of any of this before, but I did what you were talking about, and then I just received that text message of a friend dropping by some money for something that we had done for them. So it wasn't like anything like way over the board top like crazy, but I thought it was just really special that it was just already abundance manifesting itself.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Good to see you, girl. I love that. I took like in the book, there's this kind of next level that you can print from their website on themagic.com, but it says the gratitude bank of the universe, remittance advice, gratitude, pay, and then you put the amount that you want in your check, and then it says to the order of, and I put my name, signed the universe. I put all my magic numbers in there. I put the date. So I just was playing around with this frequency and just the game of it. And it says starts with something small, just something that's like not something huge, just to see how it works. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to put $3,000. So yesterday, my son and I are like selling some of his Pokemon cards. And we go, and the guy's like, well, I'll give you like $35. We went to, and somewhere offered six, but this guy was like, here, I'll give you $35 for these few cards. So, okay. And then I have a client that pays me $400, which is like great. And thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I get a booking on Airbnb for $2,565. And when I totaled it up, I literally gasped. I was like, exactly $3,000. Isn't that crazy? That happened yesterday. So I was just enjoying enjoying the miracles, and it's just really fun. So if you want to do that, it's on their website on the magic.com, or you can just follow the formula I used, but that was really fun. And, I probably maybe would have made that much money or a different amount yesterday, but it wouldn't have like filled me with so much excitement and gratitude. So it just added so like the next level of magic into my life. So I was super grateful. Okay, so today, if unless anyone else wants to share a miracle, um, just want to encourage you, playful out. And we're gonna drop into the practice today. Today, the focus is on relationships. And if you think about life, like how meaningful would life be without the people in your life? Like, just what would making a song if no one was going to listen to it, or creating art, or making a meal? I know that when I'm like at home and there's no one around, it's really hard to make an entire meal. And so, like, there's so much joy that we get from the people in our life. And so, what if we just amplify the experience we have of the people around us and pour out the gratitude and experience more magic because of the people in our life? So, today we're going to do a practice that I think you may use for the rest of your life. It is so fun, and it's just a really playful way to go through life. I think you're going to really enjoy it. So let's begin with learning how to use magic gratitude dust. So take a deep
Paige,
breath, tuning into your breath, tuning into your body, closing your eyes if you can, but even if you can't, just relaxing your jaw and your neck and your shoulders. Breathing all the way down into your belly and drawing that breath in all the way up to your heart. Noticing as you tune into your breath, it may begin to slow a little, lengthen. And notice how easy it is to drop out of your mind and into your heart. into your body, just tuning into your body and your heart. How's your heart doing this morning? Is there anything that it's asking for? There's ancient teachings that say that when we give to another person with a full heart, it returns to us 100-fold. And today's practice and all of this gratitude practice is so much about bringing the frequency into our bodies, into our hearts, and thus into our lives. And if we want to improve our lives, gratitude is so essential, such a powerful energy. And where you direct it is where it goes. And so today we're going to learn about how we can direct it towards all the people in our lives, literally sprinkling them with magical dust of gratitude. This powerful positive energy of this magical dust reaches and affects anyone we sprinkle it on. Most of us connect with so many people every day, whether it's online or whether we're driving along and we're in traffic with other people, or people in restaurants and stores and face to face at work or in our families. We make contact with these people who we receive something from, who are giving something to us so often. And so just think about the people you encounter in your life on a day-to-day basis, who you're going to see today. Those are that are working in stores and people that are just passing you on the street, people that are maybe coming over that you're going to visit. You'll see at an event. And so many of these people are giving service, giving of themselves, and you're receiving their service. You're receiving their energy. And when we don't say thank you for this service, and we're not grateful, we're stopping the good from coming into our lives. And so just think about everything that makes your life possible, the maintenance workers who keep the roads and the public services working. Last night I saw someone was walking at 9 at night, just working on the sewage system that had, the water system that had broken in Provo, and the people that make electricity and gas and water and all of our roads work. Think about all the people that clean the streets, clean bathrooms in public places and airplanes and hospitals and restaurants and supermarkets. I love the cleaners that come into my house and help me clean for my Airbnb. I just want to squeeze them with so much delight. Who are those people that you just appreciate so much? And just imagine sprinkling them with this magic dust of gratitude, saying thank you, thank you, thank you as you pass them. People that serve and pack your groceries at the grocery store, just sprinkling them with dust. When you're traveling, just sprinkling the people that check you in and help you to your seat and fly the plane and the cabin crew. There's so many ways that people are serving us everywhere we go. What an amazing life. So just imagine using this magic dust, maybe even seeing the color of it, the sparkliness of it. Just imagine sprinkling them with this incredible energy of gratitude and saying those words, thank you. Imagine even as you say the words thank you to those people, that you look them in the eye, that you connect with them, that you don't just say thank you, but you say thank you for what? Thank you for really taking the time to help me. Thank you for putting so much effort and attention into your job. It really makes a difference. My dad is so good at this. He really connects and looks at people and acknowledges them for the work that they do. Even the security guard at TJ Maxx, just acknowledging the people around you. And sometimes we meet people that aren't so nice, and it's a little bit harder to say thank you. They're in bad moods, but just remembering that everyone's fighting a hard battle, and they're someone's sister and someone's brother, someone's child. So just think of how you can sprinkle the people in your life with gratitude today. And even say these words, thank you. Thank you for going out of your way for me. Thank you for resolving the situation for me. I'm so grateful for you. You'll be amazed by the responses that you get from those people with a sincere gratitude. And when you say thank you to someone in person, to their face, looking into their eyes, you can have that magical effect. And you don't need to just do this with people in the street. You can do this with loved ones as they walk out the door and just sprinkling them with magical dust. Grateful for the safety that they're going to have. Maybe sprinkling magical dust on your computer before you begin a project. Sprinkling magical dust before you as you walk into an event. Maybe if you see someone that's struggling, or even that needs a blessing of health or strength, what if you were to use this magical dust to just envision them in perfect health and say those words, thank you, thank you, thank you. You could even imagine sprinkling this magical dust on them and seeing miraculous healing and getting the news that they are feeling so much better, they're healed, or they're in perfect health, and just celebrating and feeling the gratitude. There's so much possibility in this. And so as you decide right now, one thing, one time during your day when you're just going to walk and sprinkle gratitude, maybe another one, just envision yourself doing this beautiful work on the planet, spreading love, spreading one of the highest frequencies on the planet, and thus increasing your own. And so when you're ready, we're going to take a deep breath, come back to full awareness, bringing your arms above your head, putting a smile on your face, and saying the word yes, opening the eyes. Oh, and notice how good you feel. Woo! Feels so good. Today, the game is to really tune into the frequency of gratitude with the people in your life. The writing is to write it all down, but even in your day, who can you just say these magical words to? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And one of the challenges is to actually find a picture of someone that you really want to flood with gratitude today. And you can choose 1 to 3 if you want. Just choosing the people in your life that you really want to hone in on and share gratitude for. And so if you have that picture on your phone, if you have it in your room, in your home, just bring it into a place where you'll see it throughout the day. And as you do, just think of all the reasons why you're grateful for that person. And this is beautiful, as we did at the beginning, like doing it with someone that's difficult in your life. I actually had a very triggering experience last night with someone, and I went for a long walk and I was trying to think it through, but it wasn't until I sat down and I wrote my 10 gratitudes for them and wrote out all the reasons why I was grateful for them that, like, energetically my nervous system could calm down and I could get out of that that cycling thought. So it's so powerful, you guys. So hello, welcome back. Aren't there the most amazing humans in this group? I like one of my happiest things in life is introducing incredible people to other incredible people. So like the breakout rooms are one of my favorite things about this challenge, and with everything, all the group programs I do, I just love connecting good humans. So any shares? Anyone want to share what came up in your breakout room?
Paige, I wanted to say from the meditation time, I realized it doesn't take any more time to look in someone's eyes to say thank you than to just kind of wave on your way by, thank you. But
Yeah.
what you described that your dad does, where you just actually stop and connect and give them a moment to connect, because they may not be used to that on the job. So
Yeah.
using our time, multiplying the effect. Yay! Invest.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so much. There's this beautiful quote in um, Larry's book that says like it's in the forward of it, but it says the only regrets we'll have is not sharing love, right? And not sharing, and that really is, there's something so powerful that people just want to be seen, loved, appreciated, and what if we can be the ones that give that to them? And one of the main things about this challenge today is just loving and accepting people exactly how they are. And there's so many studies that show that relationships that um, have gratitude, people that have gratitude live longer, are healthier, have better relationships, are seen as in more positive light. There's all these benefits, right? But the effect of gratitude on a relationship is really profound. In fact, for every one complaint or criticism, there has to be at least 10 blessings, at least 10 positive things said, or it most likely will end in divorce. It's just been proven over and over, and it's so easy to go into making your partners wrong, make the people in your life wrong too. And it's really like the judgment that we have within ourselves, right? Where we will do that to other people and ultimately do that to ourselves. And so today is all about just like really loving and appreciating people for exactly who they are and where they're at. And um, again, choosing someone that is like special in your life that you want to pour this into today, but you can do this with different people all the time. But here's the challenge for today. And so magic dust all day. Like this is something to just do as you're walking along, as you're driving. A great way to use your mind as a tool, a great way to increase your frequency. And then the other one is to write down the things that you appreciate about 1 to 3 people and put their photo somewhere. You're in their presence, then each time you see them, just say thank you for something that you love about them. Like look at them, say, hey, thank you for this, or I really love this about you because it is inspiring, or what I love about you is, but really play this game today with the people in your life. And if they're not in your presence, then write it down and really tune into this and just say thank you, thank you, thank you at the end. Feel the gratitude in your body and see the miracles. So I love this. Willie Nelson says, when I started counting my blessings, my whole life turned around. What if your whole life could turn around? So that's the challenge. Just play with it. And Judy has a question.
I just had a comment. I was thinking in yesterday's challenge when you just blew the lid off yesterday for money, right? So kudos to you for blowing the lid off. And I thought of the relationship the same way. If we went back and counted, just like you yesterday, every relationship, how we've been taken care of, how we've been loved, how we've, just go backwards and forwards with it. That little practice yesterday just enlarged my world big time. And even with relationships, I can see that just going back, thinking about my grandmothers, thinking about my grandfather, all the little things, my friends when I was in elementary school, and being grateful for all of that's going to compound into the present and go forward. So thank you for that gift.
Yeah, I love that idea. Just going in and like, it's really about focusing on what worked, like focusing on all the things you're grateful about each relationship.
Ask you a
That's
question.
such a beautiful thing. Yesterday, Judy said something. Most of you were off by the time she got on, but she said, "You just obliterated ingratitude." And I was like, yes, that's the game. That's the game. Oh, this is a beautiful space and relationships to do that, Mom. Go ahead.
I had a breakthrough this morning. It's something that I just have to tell all of you. So the gratitude method is a possibility for when, you want to say something like, here's a direct thing. So, hey, Greg, do calisthenics with your feet and move your feet back and forth like you were on the airplane and start moving those parts of your body, get your circulation going. Okay, so here's that really is irritating, isn't it? You can see that that's an irritating thing for a wife to say to a husband.
All day long.
or when the daughter comes and she starts adding to it. Okay, so anyway, let's just look at this. So what I've learned this morning, like, this is fantastic. So I just go, I can say, oh, Greg, thank you for loving to move your body. Hey, and I'm going to say thank you right now to your wonderful feet, because I know those feet still move for you.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
thanks, gang. It's wonderful to figure that out today. Paige, I love you. Thank you very much. You've given us all this chance to figure it out.
I was literally just writing someone about that. This guy was reaching out. He said, I want you to do a session with me. But then he's like, well, except that I want to date you. And I'm like, yeah, you don't want to date your coach. And I've like learned that the hard way, and I just thought of that with Mom. Like, we don't want to be coached by our partners. We want to be accepted for exactly where we're at and who we are and appreciated. And we do step up to the highest version of what our partners see in us. I know that, at least for me, I am more of a chameleon than other people, but I do really feel like I just didn't like the feeling of being coached by my partner. And I can be coached by a lot of people. I'm a very coachable person, but I had a huge aversion to that. So I think that's like shifting the energy into, looking at the positive. We do it with kids. We know this. Positive parenting works when we say, good job, you're holding that glass of milk so well. Way to go. I love that. When you put it on the table so carefully, that's so awesome. Rather than, don't spill the milk. Last time you spilled the milk. Remember when you spilled the milk last time? Don't do it again. Right? What's the kid gonna do? So we know this concept, but we do it when we're in fear. We focus on that and the fear takes over, and then we speak from that and we focus on that, and it just simply doesn't work as well,
Hey, just want to say something right here for the gratitude piece. I am so grateful for your mom and dad. Not just because you guys came from them, but so grateful for your mom and dad, because I met your dad when we were doing the Queen's Code Challenge, right? And he would come on and say things, and I just went, this man is brilliant. I just absolutely appreciated his comments and your mom's comments and your sisters. And, so just a great shout out to them and to the beauty that they've created with you girls. That makes my heart happy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, Judy.
You're quite my pleasure.
Yeah.
So that'll start my gratitude today.
Oh, I am so grateful for my parents too. And thank you for sharing, Judy, because my dad's touched so many people's lives in amazing, amazing ways, both my mom and my dad. It's really amazing to see people reaching out and sharing that. Anne, did you have a share?
I'm sorry. I was going to say there was a guru in India that kind of took me aside, and one of the things he said was that our parents are our first guru,
Mm.
and it's kind of like your
Well, you're breaking up.
own life. We were kind of like almost like little sisters in the way, kind of like don't touch my stuff kind of parents, and so I've really had to sit with that and figure out like how can I honor them as my first guru? How can I find an access way, into there? And so anyway, I just like I love your parents. I love when I see that. It really stirs something in me, and I've always wanted to be that kind of parent like your parents are. And I'm trying to figure out how to honor my parents when they kind of don't really care. Like they're not into any of the things I'm into. I'm just trying to find a way to certainly if I talk about the things that I'm into, they're just not interested at all. So I have to find something that they that they are into or that they want to access that. But it's really been on my heart to figure out how to honor my parents as my guru, even though they're like in a different world. It's gonna be it's a challenge.
I love the challenge. Yeah, because it's like you chose them, right? And
Yes.
they're your greatest teachers in a lot of ways. They created your subconscious mind in a lot of ways. And just that they made you who you are is such a huge one, right? Like
Yeah.
I can be grateful for my ex-husband because he made me who I am, not because of like who he is in the world. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's my greatest teacher. And so I can feel an immense amount of gratitude for all the things that I got to be in. Sometimes it's just that. And sometimes it really is dropping in and seeing. Yesterday in the money gratitude, we looked at everything our parents paid for us for and just dropped into like, wow, I didn't have to pay for anything until I was whatever age you started paying for yourself. But
What goes up and never goes down?
just that alone,
I appreciate that. That you gave me some seeds there to work
Yeah.
with. I appreciate
Something
it
to
very
start
much.
with.
Yes, yes. My parents gave super good genes, man. That's what they really did.
They
So
really
I
did.
really that's a lot. That's like everything. So like even though I can't remember, they really never spent any money on us. They never took us anywhere. They're not interested in anything that we did. Never babysat for our kids. Never did any. I've done exactly the opposite with my kid. And but giving us good genes at least gave me a foundation to
Yeah,
jump off of.
and
Yes.
would challenge all the extremes, right? Like they never paid for anything. They never did it. They never spent time with us. And the Byron Katie work of is that true? Is it absolutely true? And maybe there's a new truth that you can find so that you can have a better experience of yourself.
My dad thought my college roommates were really cute, so he spent a lot of time visiting me at college.
So there you go. He spent time with you in college.
Good. Yeah, probably kept a lot of bad guys away because my dad was kind of there, hanging out with us. So yeah, there's things you can tweak them. You're right. You can. That's
You
cool.
can.
He was like kind of like a bodyguard in a way, and I probably kept a lot of the bad guys away. So
There you
that's
go.
neat.
See?
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's fun. It's actually a fun little game, huh?
Yeah, oh my gosh, I love Byron Katie's stuff. Like that game of flipping stuff on its head is mind blowing. When I say, he never would plan anything ahead, I'm like, okay, is that true? Is it absolutely true? No. He actually planned a lot. Oh yeah. I didn't plan ahead. Oh yeah, that's more true. Crap. We can flip our illusions on their heads pretty quick if we know the process.
Yeah, my mom, that's going to take a little more work, but I'll start with my dad.
Yeah.
Let me start with that.
Yeah. I'm really good at absolutes. I'm really good at those. There's a better word for it, but I'll go into that, especially when I'm triggered. Like, you never do this. This is always the way it is, and it's an illusion.
That's what I tell my girls. Never say never. It doesn't work.
You know, I heard an interesting story once about a woman who basically just had depression all of her life. She had a wonderful husband, 4 beautiful sons, and she received some insight through a blessing, and was told in that experience that before she came to the earth, she would be put into a line of, abusive families, and she would stop that. She would absorb it and not pass it on to her children, to her, husband. And what's interesting is we just never know kind of what people went through, what our parents went through, and we don't really see the full picture behind the scenes. And once she got that perspective, or she changed her framework around it, all of what she went through had a different meaning. It was her protecting and shielding, so that darkness would never pass on. It was a profound insight that I got when I heard that story.
Yeah,
I love that.
think
That's
of
really
the
cool.
ways she's breaking like intergenerational patterns with that. Really powerful.
And
My
I,
mom is just starting to like squeak out things about her childhood that we never knew. She's
Yeah.
just starting to eke that stuff out. And then I did have a past life thing, and it did make my whole life make sense. We did sign up for this.
Yeah.
Like, it really, you're right about that. Thank you for reminding me. That's really cool, because I did some things in my past life that set this up. And so when you see it that way, when you're like, oh, instead of thinking this person, they're mean and they're evil and they did these terrible things to me, and now I think, I wonder what I did to you last life. And it totally flips that. It takes all this physiology out.
Yeah. And it also gives you an opportunity to springboard off of whatever experiences you've had, because there's a lesson there. It is the power or the energy, good or bad, that you can turn and utilize, like Paige had mentioned, for good or for bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the question, what's the gift, what's the invitation, right? Like there's always a gift and invitation in what we are receiving, and especially when we believe that the world's conspiring for our good, which is a belief I like. So I choose to believe that. And then I look for, well, if this is for my good, then I guess there's something to find in this that is for my benefit, and there's a gift and there's an invitation for me to show up in a different way or to learn something new. So that's
There's a
helpful.
new movie out called It Ends With Us. And I just saw it the other night. It's really good. It ends with us, and it kind of ties into what we were just talking about.
I just read the book.
Oh, the movie was excellent. I don't know about the book, but the
Okay.
movie was really good.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah. Well, I watched it twice, actually.
Talk about
Yeah.
ending intergenerational patterns, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
That's part of the work we're doing. I heard when we break intergenerational patterns, it will heal 7 generations back and 7 generations forward. And that's pretty powerful. It makes it worth doing the work, because sometimes work is really uncomfortable and really hard.
You know, somebody said that to me before. I was like, whatever. Like, you know, in your world, like you're from India and everything, and you're a guru, but one day I was loving on one of my dogs, who was a puppy of my favorite dog that I ever had, and she was so good, and I was hugging that dog and saying, I so miss your mother. I wish so much I could hug her. And I swear I heard in my ear so loudly, but you are. And I realized that by hugging her child, I was hugging her. I mean, it flipped me out, because I felt it in every cell of my body. It's the guru could say it, you know, 7 years before and 7 years after, but like having that actual experience of holding that dog and hearing, but you are, it made sense. Like I felt it, that you do affect beyond what we can see and touch right now.
Yeah. And that's transformation. That's the difference between information and transformation. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, it's embodying it. That's why when we start the meditation, you drop out of your head and into your heart. Let's experience this. Let's experience feeling gratitude for each person in our life, and let's experience the feeling of sprinkling magical dust and gratitude on people and bring it into our body, right? So thank you. It's good to have you back in America, Anne. I
Thank
can't wait to
you.
hear about all that you learned. Anne is my master body worker. She actually taught me the stuff that I have used and help my family and so many people in so many ways just from the body work that I've learned from her. But Anne, I wanted to tell you, I was down in Mexico to visit an orphanage and a retreat center last week, and I was doing some stomach massage on someone, and she was like completely mind blown. Like she was like, "How have I gotten massages my entire life?" Like she has a weekly massage. She's like, "I've never had my stomach worked on." And I'm telling her all the things that I've learned from you of like all the hundred of lymph nodes and how you can reach the psoas and how you can and how what I've done to help my dad's bowels and fix the sciatica and all this stuff. And she was just like completely like, how have I lived on planet Earth without this information?
That
But
makes my
this is
day.
like part of what I want to do with you, Anne, is just get this out to the world.
Oh, and I have a question. Do I have to sign up for the retreat, or am I automatically going to be the body worker and I don't have to do anything?
Anytime you ever want to be a body worker at my retreat, you're coming.
Oh, so I'm coming. I'm coming. You might
Okay,
not
you're
see me
in.
formally
You're
on
on the roster.
the
Anne did the body work at the retreat, and that's like in the reviews, everyone's like, "And the best, like it was so amazing. Anne did the body work. I feel so good and everything." So anyway,
Thank you. Yay.
yeah, Anne
That
is
makes
so
my day.
gifted
I'm
as a
grateful.
healer.
Grateful.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm so grateful for you.
I have
Amazing.
one more little funny story to tell you, just a tiny one. There was a man who I knew from high school who said that they always go to this local bar. I don't do bars, right? But people were having a lot of upset about the election. And I noticed something that he put on Facebook. So I was like, I'm going to go just hit up that bar and just, feel into him and, see how we can handle this better, people's reactions, whatever. So I went to the bar and it was kind of empty and they were saying like, do you remember that guy? And I was looking at these guys who like used to be so cute in high school and all, like I wouldn't have recognized them on the street. And it kind of like hurt my heart a little bit. Like I was like, darn man, I think that guy was so cute. I wouldn't know him if I, stepped on him now. And then this one guy comes up who's like standing very straight and tall and real good looking. And he mentioned his wife and kids, so it wasn't like he was flirting or anything. But after we talked for a while, as he left, he grabbed my hand, my right hand that I always am very, kind of conscious of because I have this little birth defect thing. He grabs my right hand, he kisses it and says, "It was so nice to meet you, beautiful young lady." And I tell you, here's what's so weird. The next thing I noticed, I was at the grocery store and I was just walking different. I noticed that people were smiling at me and saying hi a whole bunch. And all of a sudden it hit me that it was just, I keep reliving this guy like kissing my hand and like, "Nice to meet you, beautiful young lady." I mean, you had to add that part, right? And I just had a birthday, so it was just been interesting. But it's so funny that, like you said, when somebody just makes eye contact and smiles, I have replayed this thing to the point where it affected the way that I walk and it affected the way people looked at me.
Yeah.
It was so funny, and I had to giggle all day about it because I knew where it came from. So
And
if
you
people
still
like
felt
it,
it.
then I still felt it. And even people would say, "Hi, oh, I liked your dress," and I knew it was just because I was carrying myself different, like this beautiful young lady, instead of feeling like, "Oh my God, I freaking just turned what?" Like it changed it. They're talking me through the laundry chute. I think my time could be up here, but
Ah, I love that. Well, we've totally gone a whole half hour longer, but I wanted to just say this is my dad's superpower. Like I've watched him my whole life, and I've had so many people come up to me and be like, your dad said this one thing to me, and it changed my life. And it just is such a reminder that we are powerful creators with the words that we say to people and the way we connect with people. Like we really can change not just their days, but their lives. Like I've had people come up and say, your dad, when I was a teenager, like adults didn't really pay attention to us, but he would sit down with me like I was the only person in the world. And he would see what I was interested in and he would speak into that. And because he saw me, I became an orthodontist, or I became a pro soccer player, or I went to the Olympics, or I went because all he did was he was present with them and he spoke what he saw into them. And he appreciated them where they were at, and he witnessed them. So it was just so beautiful, to witness that all growing up. And now just whenever I talk to people about my dad, they're like, oh yeah, he changed my life in this way because he said something that made a profound effect on my life. So I just love that about him, and want to be more like that. And it's a good example to all of us to just like be aware of the words that you're saying to people. And one final thing on this is there's a really amazing book about past lives, and it's the one, she's super famous. I can't remember the name of it, but she says, you may know the story, so you'll remember the book. But she's in the operating room. She's on death's edge, stage 4 cancer. She's literally like a week from dying. And she dies on the operating table, and she leaves her body, and she is watching, and she kind of realizes, oh, I'm down there. And then she watches a doctor come in, and the doctor's like, she's dead. There's no point in helping her. She's in skin and bones, whatever he said. And it was like black was coming out of his mouth and affecting her body. And then another doctor came in, and she was like, no, like this, she's so strong. Like we can save her. She's gonna be okay. And there was light, and pink sparkly light coming out of her mouth, and it affected her body to the point where she came back in her body, and she came back to life. Like she came back from the near-death experience. And I just think of that, like if we could see our words as colors and energy, what would they be, and how would they be affecting people?
That was Anita Morjani. Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. What's her book name again?
Ah,
Anita. I have the book right here.
oh, she literally came completely back to life.
Yeah. And then she's like going around just trying to figure out, like, and she had this miraculous recovery. And then she's going around like, I don't know what just happened to me. And then she finds someone who writes about NDEs, like near-death experiences, and she becomes a part of this whole community of people that have NDEs. And it's like it's a huge thing that people have, and it's wild how similar everyone's and near-death experiences are. So
All of her organs were failing. It was beyond anything that she came back, like beyond any possibility.
yeah.
It was amazing.
It's a beautiful book.
Yeah.
Definitely, if you have a share tomorrow, it's the Sunday, the final day. We're going to really dive into creation in gratitude and creating it in the future. I wanted to also just point out in the workbook, I have listed the Clarity and Flow canoe retreat. Anne and Vienna, who are on here, were there last time. And it's just absolutely one of my favorite things of my life. And it's in the Ozarks, in these incredible fresh spring water that is a national waterway. And it's just, we had ospreys and eagles flying above our heads, and we had turtles on all the rocks, and springs coming out of millions of gallons of springs coming out. So the water is just so clear and beautiful. So I wanted to let you know there's a few spots left in that, and it's in June, but it's going to be magnificent. And then we have a women's circle. So if you're in Utah, this is specifically for people in Utah. We have monthly gatherings in person, and we have a gala in Salt Lake. We're kicking it all off. But if you're interested in that, just reach out to me, because it's just going to be so magnificent and a really amazing way to connect with epic people in the area. So I want to let you know about that. And that's just $97 a month, which is just amazing. And we have classes and quarterly activities and a yearly retreat for that. So lots going on, and there's so much more. Again, just schedule a time, schedulewithpaige.com if you are interested in any of those, or just in learning more about what I do. And we're gonna see you tomorrow for the final day. It's gonna be so good. Thank you.
So cool to be with you.
Oh, love you guys so much. Thanks for being on with me today. What a great way to start a Saturday. Let's do that every day. Okay. See you later.
Love you.
Okay, bye everyone. Have an amazing day. Sprinkle the world.